So, but in doing all that, I fell into some pretty hard addiction, man. I got pretty bad on the amphetamines, man. And,
oh shit.
Yeah, I got hooked on that pretty bad, and it got to a point to where I lost everything. I was losing my fiance that I had at the time. Like my jobs weren't working out. I was literally just eking, like living on people's couches, like
oh god,
living in my mom's garage, and that'll be
dude,
just
that's rough.
All the time, and that it came down basically. My ex, she told me, she said that you need to make a decision right now because you're choosing all this over your life, and you make a move. And so it was a tough move, dude. It took 4 places for them to accept me, even in a rehab.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I didn't
what
have
was the
because I didn't have the right insurance, and I didn't meet their requirements for being an addict, which is
so dumb,
dude. It's absolutely insane how hard it is to get help when you need it like that.
Yeah,
dude, that was a tough time, man. Because I was like, I'm trying to get help, and I can't get it.
Yeah,
I'm telling like I'm a full blown addict. Like I've you give me $20 right now, I'm gonna go get more drugs. Like
like what bona fides do you need? How many family members do I need to lose? Like
I found one place, and her mom helped me out in getting the insurance because I had to get the right insurance.
Sure, yeah.
Found the place, and I had a family friend that used to work at a rehabilitation center. She told me exactly what to say and how to say it, which for people who are trying to get help, you don't know how much you take, and your amount of what you use can vary from day to day. Oh. That's what you say, so you can actually get help.
Interesting.
And then I did that. I went to St. John's Recovery Place. It was, up
Shout
in
out
North
St.
Florida,
John's.
and it was a holistic place.
Okay.
It offered EMDR therapy, neurointegration therapy, and brain mapping, and everything like that.
Wow.
I did 30 days inpatient. I checked myself in. I did 30 days in. That was the best move I ever made in my life. It saved my life.
How long ago?
That was 4 years ago.
Wow, dude.
4 years ago, yeah. Something like that, yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, 4 years ago, dude, EMDR therapy completely changed me.
Yeah.
I felt like I lost a person. I did the brain mapping before and after, and I gained 60% brain activity.
What is brain mapping? I don't even know.
Brain mapping, it just takes a map of your brain and how it connects.
Okay.
It shows the slow and fast parts.
Interesting.
And so, yeah, you do the same with neurointegration therapy where you lay on this bed when it vibrates to like the frequency, right?
Okay.
And they put magnets on your head, and it speeds up and slows down either side of the brain, and so it evens you out. And the whole time you listen to a guided meditation.
Huh.
Dude, it's awesome.
That's awesome. Dude, I love the fact that, and again, just like by the conversations we've had, it sounds like you're the type of person that you're just like, no, I'm doing that. And then just like, you just go.
Yeah, it was literally, I went there for business.
Yep.
And I went there to take care of business, and I did. I went there, I said, I'm working on myself every day. I didn't stop until I felt better.
I love that shit.
I mean, I fucking gave it my all. I before that, my brain was messed up, not just from drugs. I was misdiagnosed by my therapist, and I was on the wrong medication, and I was double dosing the medication, thinking it would help me more. Yeah, and really, I just started hurting myself more.
Yep, but, well, I mean, I was a kid of the '90s, so I was in the Ritalin, Wellbutrin. And then they changed that from Wellbutrin to like Adderall and Prozac. Yeah. I'm that whole thing it was a nightmare for me because I hated the way that like all of that stuff. I hate the way amphetamines make me feel. Yeah. Like, so
I mean, it's literally one chemical compound off of what the fuck I love.
Exactly.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It really is. And when I didn't have it, I would take 90 milligrams of that.
Really?
I would take 90 milligrams at a time.
Wow.
And I weigh 150.
Yeah. No. I know. Yeah. That's.
I would take 90 milligrams of that shit.
Jesus,
it would be
dude.
The same thing for me.
It's the same. Wow.
It's the same feeling.
And did you smoke it typically, or?
Yeah, well, I snorted it for 3 or 4 years, and I would tell people about it, and I was functioning. Yeah. But the second I put the flame to it, it changed everything. The second I started smoking it, it changed everything. And it changed everything like that.
Wow. So it's like a different drug?
It's a whole nother drug. It's a whole nother... That's what a different psychosis comes on.
Really?
You know, I'd be up for days on end thinking people are talking outside my window. I've looked out my front window and seen an old lady standing there looking at me and pointing her finger and then coming to and then realizing it was the light hitting the side of the garage.
Holy shit.
Like being up that long and just being out of my fucking mind. And of course, being off the handles and sitting there looking out and having a gun in my hand, you know, just like,
oh my God,
just
dude.
like waiting. And, you know, you quit the club and you think people are coming to get me. And no one's coming to get you. You know?
Well, you quit the club because of the things that you heard. And then,
right.
Yeah. Oh my God,
and then, of course, all that, again, that all comes into play, buddy. And let me tell you, I set myself up for a successful paranoia trip there, man.
Yeah, you definitely took it to 11. God damn.
Yeah, I mean, that's me.
Right. Old 11 Ryan Thorne.
Yeah.
Man, dude, I hated the way I hated the way Adderall and Ritalin and all of those amphetamines made me feel. Mm-hmm. And when I smoke, I typically smoke weed because I quit smoking. I had a brief opiate addiction for about a month. And I had kidney stones.
Oh, wow.
And they prescribed me 30 days of oxycodone after I had passed the kidney stones.
Holy shit.
Like these footballs, the little footballs.
Yeah. I'm aware.
Yeah. So I get home. I had just left the IT industry. So I'm working in, I'm working just DJing like 4 nights a week. And I get home and I pop the first one. And I'm like, I drink a beer and I'm like, God damn, this is amazing. and so
off one beer too.
Yeah, off one beer. This is one beer?
Yeah.
And it's like, this is amazing. So next day, pop another one, drink another Yingling. Mm-hmm. The next day, pop another one, drink another Yingling. I'm like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And day 30 rolls around and I'm out. So I'm like, fuck. And then I start getting that stomach ache, that dope sickness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's horrible, man.
Bro. And
horrible.
It was very light, but I recognized it because I'm like, I know I've had friends that are on heroin. I've had friends that are on. So I was like, this is addiction.
Yeah.
Like, I know what this is. So I called my brother JJ, who was dealing at the time, dealing weed, pounds at the time. And he called him up and I was like, hey, man. He's like, what's up? Like, I'm out of oxys. And he was like, oh, well, you want to come over? Get you nice and high. That was the second time I had ever smoked weed in 10 years.
Oh, wow.
I quit smoking weed for 10 years because I became a Christian, and Christians weren't supposed to do that.
You're right. You're right, yeah.
So at 28, I think it was 28 or so, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go smoke weed. Mm-hmm. And he packs me a gram of like this, just the stickiest indica you've ever seen in your life. And I'm like, cool. He gives me a 2-foot Rasta bong. Mm-hmm. And he's like, here, take a rip of this. So I do. And oh my God, I forgot to breathe. I was stoned like a gravel road. It was so fucking, I was so high. Bro, it was great. I woke up the next day and I was smoking a pack of Marlboro Reds a day.
Uh-huh.
Quit smoking that day.
Awesome.
I quit drinking by 90%.
Wow.
Like, I dropped my drinking by 90%. And yeah, like since then,
I backed that, dude. Yeah, that's awesome.
After that, it was over. Like, I was like, oh, okay, well, this is because the thing is, I know I'm an addict. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know that if I take an oxycodone tonight, mm-hmm. I'm gonna be like, that's awesome. I want to do it again. Yeah, because that's how my brain works.
Yeah.
So instead, I just look at the death toll that any drug that I have, which is the only drug that I have is weed, mm-hmm. and I'm like, how much do I have to smoke to die from that? And they're like, it's impossible. I'm like, good. Yeah. So now no matter what I'm craving, I'm just going to smoke until I don't crave it anymore.
That's it, dude.
And yeah, that's been my MO. And you know, there was times when it's when like, you abuse anything, but like the effects or the side effects or the consequences for abusing weed versus abusing any other drug are very low.
Yeah, dude, the power of the flower is where it's at, man.
Exactly. The power of the flower, baby.
Dear Lord, the power of the flower.
So meth is the like. Yeah, that was never my thing, but opiates was definitely downers, because the thing is, when I'm off, this is as not high as you're probably ever seen me.
Yeah.
And it's because I'm like, right now I didn't smoke a lot today because I'm like kind of like, I go on lowercase T breaks. I wean myself off. I purposefully run out of weed so that I can like chill.
Yeah, give it that little break before the next.
And then I take 17 dabs to the face like it's my job. And it's amazing.
Yep.
So that's what I'm in the process of now.
Okay.
But like when it's not like heroin, where if I shut up the same way, if I drank the way that I smoked, I would need to live in a rehab facility.
Yeah.
Like there's just no way.
And you wouldn't be as functioning as you are,
No. Oh God, no. No, and like I'd be 500 pounds. Like my face would be this big.
Won't be able to talk or just make sense of anything.
Oh, dude, I'll tell you, in radio, there has been the only drug in radio that across the board has done the most damage to everybody that I know in radio has been alcohol.
Yeah. Without
question, without even a close second.
Yeah.
Like cocaine would be maybe a second, but like way down. There are many more people that I know that did blow back then that are still good now than people that were just pounding drinks that are still pounding drinks now. Those two trajectories, it's insane. Both of them are bad.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Both of them are bad. But like the damage that I've seen alcohol do has outdone almost any by volume. By volume.
Yep. I randomly fell into meth.
Yeah.
That's how. Like,
was it an MC thing?
I don't want to make it an MC thing, but it was.
Okay.
I'm not saying, I don't want to go on record, I'm not saying MCs have anything to do with meth.
No.
Just in my experience, I had a guy that said, "You're doing this." And I said, "Okay." And then also think about this. So I work all week. I work a normal job.
Sure.
And then if you're probating at the time, let's say, I got to work a party. You're going to have a party. I'm up the whole time serving, being a bartender the whole time.
Yep.
Tending to people, Then you get done with that party and they tell you, get on your bike and go ride to Pensacola and drop them off and then come back. How are you going to do that? Now, there's people that do it without that.
Sure, yeah.
But me, I needed it.
Yeah,
and it honestly saved my life probably a couple of times because I was just like...
Yeah, you were good to go, yeah.
But it was just like the first time I did Adderall, I was like, oh my God, this is the way God made me. Like,
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. But that I use it as a tool for many, many years. And then, like I said, the second I put a fucking flame to that shit, though.
Yeah. So the flame made it complete. You know what's funny? DMT.
Oh.
There's two types of DMT. There's the edible kind and the smokable kind.
I didn't know there's an edible kind.
There's an edible kind. The edible kind is much more akin to mushrooms.
Okay.
So if you take it's powdery, so like it almost tastes like battery acid. It's the worst tasting shit ever. But like you put it in the tongue and swallow it, and it's basically like a mushroom trip.
Okay.
And
is
you
it
come
like more
back,
like that slow come up? And
slow come up, the visualizations, all of it.
Yeah.
Like very, very much obviously the smokable DMT is a completely different. That is a blast off.
Yes, it is, my friend.
God bless it.
Indeed. Hey, that was another thing that helped me a lot as well. DMT did.
I have a DMT story.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So, my first time doing DMT was with my little brother. My first time doing smokable DMT was with my little brother. I had already done edible DMT with some friends a few times by that point. But my brother was like, I'm going to make some. I'm like, all right, cool. 2 weeks later, he had them. 2-3 weeks later, he had them.
Wow.
It was Thanksgiving of 2017. And he's like, all right, come on over here. He brings me over to my nephew's room. My nephew's with his with my parents at the time. And he sits me down, and he hands me the pipe, and I do the thing. And I will tell you, that was one of the most intense and important experiences of my life.
Yes.
And this is how I know that it wasn't just me and fucking thinking about it or whatever. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks later, 2 weeks after that event, I'm at my house, and my roommate is there, one of my best friends in the whole world. And he's like, "Hey, man, the last couple of weeks you've been like in a better mood. Like, what's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, I did DMT the other day."
Yes.
And he's like, "What?" It's like, yeah. So like, and no, my brain feels like I feel, more optimistic about life. I mean, it was. Look, I don't want to. I can't overstate how intense of an experience it is. So for those people that are like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be," look, you are going.
Be safe. All right.
I am not advocating that you do it, but if you do it, you're going to see God,
or lack thereof.
Yes, exactly. So,
and you're not moving.
Yeah, exactly. It is literally the most intense psychedelic known to man.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yeah.
There's Anyway, you can look it up. The Spirit Molecule. There's a bunch of documentaries on it, but DMT helped my brain. I feel like Joe Rogan right now. It only a matter of time when the podcaster gets into DMT shit.
Yep.
Here we go. No, but my mood flipped like that, and it was just, I can't explain it, and I don't know if you can.
It's hard to explain. What can you explain? All I can explain
aliens, did you see the girl? Did you see the
yes. Yeah, dude. I felt like you go to a place where you feel like you've been 1,000 times over, right?
Yeah.
I had one time, I had this song stuck in my head, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know it, but I smoked DMT or whatever. I go back and I'm inside this like pinkish dome, right?
Yeah.
And I'm hearing the song that was stuck in my head reverberate off the walls of this dome.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I'm in my head right now. I'm inside my mind. If I'm inside my mind, I could go wherever I want. Go riding down my bloodstream and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, because there's levels to it, right? So you have that level, but then you have the level where you go to a world where it looks like a kaleidoscope.
Yeah, the kaleidoscope level.
The kaleidoscope girl.
I was there a lot. Yeah,
yeah, the kaleidoscope girl.
Yeah, the kaleidoscope girl. And then you like, if you open your eyes, which people are like, "Oh, I don't want to open my eyes. I want to keep them open. I want to see what happens." And everything looks like it's 8-bit.
Yeah,
like
dude.
Everything looks 8-bit. It's so awesome. Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, I had the end of my DVDs, right, or like the end of my bed. It's like a whole line of them.
Yeah.
And I hit it, and I start getting the like your ears start getting and all of a sudden my DVDs just start buzzing, bzz, like the Matrix. Bzz, then it's a sound wave. Then bzz, then I look up and then my ceiling's not there. I'm like, I'm in the cosmos right now, bro. I'm one.
It is. It's so funny to me that we talk about this, and even now I'm thinking, when people listen to this, they're gonna be like, "Oh, these two junkies talking about drugs." But the reality is that we. Like the stuff that we are talking about is infinitely less harmful than the stuff that's readily available for you to drink and eat and smoke, or for you to drink and smoke right now.
It actually teaches you something rather than hurts you. You know? It again gives you lessons, man.
Again, you can abuse anything, and Lord knows I've done it. But at the same time, like, there is a right way to use it.
Absolutely.
And so
just wait. Every time I use DMT, I always use it before I went to bed. All the time, I used it before I went to bed, and I kept a pen and paper next to my bed. Because when you come back, you slowly kind of lose it like a dream, And so I would write down my experience so I wouldn't forget. Because you come back differently. And it's not bad. It's a good thing. You come back better every single time.
I go to so mine is Sundays. Like on a Sunday after like a festival or something like that. The Sunday of that festival, I will typically go to go to whatever field is playing, whatever music, and I will just do DMT there.
Yeah.
And I will just be one with nature. Sounds so fucking hippie.
But let it be. Then let it be hippie, man. But that is literally the things we've lost, man.
True. No,
we got to get back in touch with the fern gully, dude.
Yeah. I'll tell you, if 15-year-old me and 15-year-old you were listening to us, you'd be like, "What the fuck are these people?"
I'm like, dude, I'm going to military school.
Yeah. I'm on my way to a third world country to get yelled at by people in Spanish.
Yeah.